Coming up, the need for mental health resources is going up as students go back to class in person. How is NAU handling it? Plus, Halloween events are kicking off. How can you stay COVID safe while enjoying the festivities? The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Christian Ayala.
And I'm Liam Combs. Thanks for tuning in. Lockdowns may be a thing of the past, but the effects of the pandemic are starting to show in other ways.
College students are back to in-person classes for the first time in a year and a half. However, going back to normal is harder than some might have expected. NAZ Today's Lacey Fraun is here to explain.
Yep, that's right. Now that most students are back in the classroom, the demand for mental health support is rising. NAU student athlete Taryn O'Neill is the top runner for the women's cross-country team. She was one of the many students who went from online classes to back in the classroom. And it hasn't been easy.
It has just been like a bit tough transitioning back, especially with fully in person.
O'Neill says the transition felt abrupt. Suddenly, she was juggling sports, academics, social life, the pandemic, and her mental health.
Like that is definitely a downside of this semester. Learning face-to-face is beneficial for a lot of people, but it can also be like quite daunting, especially after not having done that for an entire year and a half.
Some students haven't gone back to fully in-person classes. ASNAU President Maylee Acosta is one of the many who have found a way to stay out of the classroom.
Most of my classes are still online. I only have one in-person class. Yeah, kind of has felt the same to me as the COVID year.
Acosta says some of the measures taken to ease the stress during the pandemic, like student mental health days, might be worth keeping around.
ASNAU passed a resolution last semester requesting the faculty to consider mental health days. I know a lot of faculty have really been implementing that.
NAU's mental health services has been busy since before the pandemic, and they continue to see a demand.
I know that a place that we're struggling is in the counseling services that we have on campus. Those have been highly requested, and there aren't enough staff to talk to all the students that need that guidance.
Arizona's jobless rate is at 6.7%, which is slightly above the national average. The question remains, how does NAU plan to meet the increased demand for mental health resources with such a low supply of workers? We are waiting for NAU mental health services to comment on the matter, but the CDC provides tips on their website on how to reach out for help and how to cope with stress, anxiety, and isolation. Lacey Fraun, NAZ Today.
State officials are reporting 158 new COVID-19 cases as of Monday, with no new deaths. Since the increase in cases seen in the late months of summer, the average case count has flattened to around 2,500 per week. This number is down from 3,600 in early September. The COVID dashboard shows close to 60% of the state's population has received at least one dose of vaccine. That number is bound to change, however, as the vaccines will soon be available to children ages 5 through 11. The FDA unanimously voted today to recommend emergency use of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for this age group.
The investigation continues in the fatal shooting that took place on the set of the upcoming Western film, Rust. Actor Alec Baldwin shot and killed a cinematographer and injured a director. Baldwin says he was told that the weapon was loaded with blanks. An affidavit released by Santa Fe officials says that the person responsible for the gun safety on set, or the armorer, was Hannah Gutierrez Reed. She is a recent graduate of NAU's Creative Media and Film program. NAU faculty have made it clear that the program does not instruct students on gun safety or armory in general. However, Gutierrez's father was a well-known armorer in the industry. No charges have been filed, and officials will meet tomorrow for a press conference to discuss the incident further.
With Halloween creeping closer and closer, some might worry about the safety for those that they care about. Lieutenant Charles Hernandez with the Flagstaff Police says officers are doing their part to keep youngsters safe as they trick-or-treat. And part of that involves keeping drunks off the road. With a popular holiday such as this right around the corner, there are bound to be a few bad apples.
We do see the older adult parties, Halloween costume parties and things like that. We do see an increase in maybe underage drinking or even the DUI crimes that we normally respond to.
Although many of these crimes are committed by older residents, Lieutenant Hernandez also suggests that kids be accompanied by an adult, avoid houses not participating in trick-or-treating, and to carefully screen all candy before eating. From bars to pumpkin patches, there are many places in Flagstaff to celebrate Halloween. One of them is in the Museum Club on Route 66. It's a historic place, and this Sunday it will be a spooky place as the museum celebrates its first annual Trunk or Treat this Sunday.
Trunk or Treat is an event where vehicles pull up, bumper out, and they pop their trunks, decorate it, and we hand out candy to the kids. It gives people a place to come get a lot of candy quickly.
But candy won't be the only thing offered. The event will also have a bouncy house, which is free to the public, and food trucks ranging from fry bread and Mexican food.
Again, it gives people a place to go safely to get a bunch of candy and a little bit of entertainment to go with it.
And there's one other attraction, the historic building that had a somewhat spooky start. It began as a taxidermy shop, and there are still lots of stuffed animals on the walls. Christian Ayala, NAZ Today.
A local nonprofit organization held their 18th annual celebration coinciding with the Day of the Dead at the Museum of Northern Arizona. NAZ Today's Aleja Vallejo has the story.
Thank you, Liam. Feliz Dia de los Muertos, or Happy Day of the Dead, a day for celebrating the lives of our loved ones who have passed on. Over the weekend, the organization Nuestras Raíces was able to hold their festival in person again and to remember those lost to COVID-19. Candles surrounded the courtyard with each flame representing the life of someone who has passed on. Families organized ofrendas or altars for those they hold dear by placing offerings such as food, tequila, cigarettes, and other things their loved ones enjoyed in life. Lydia Quiroz Anaya, the president of the nonprofit, set up an ofrenda for her family at the Celebración de la Gente, or Celebration of the People.
All of these are my family on my side, and then the family on my husband's side. This gorgeous girl right here is my daughter.
Christina passed away 3 years ago and was a former president of Nuestras Raíces. The celebration shines a light on loss by sharing memories and allowing an avenue for families to process their grief.
Well, it's a lot about history and then teaching the younger families, about the importance of culture and stuff. So that's what we try to do.
The weekend was full of activities for all ages and seemed particularly important this year after the many lives lost to COVID-19. Families were able to remember, honor, and celebrate those lives with others. By the way, the Day of the Dead is officially celebrated on November 1st, with festivities carrying past midnight. Aleja Vallejo, NAZ Today.
Coming up, we're bringing you a new segment highlighting everyday heroes in Northern Arizona. Stay with us.
Well, I'm sure all of you, like me, heard the intense weather last night, the wind, thunder, and rain. But we are going to be seeing clear skies as we move into this week. I'll have more, so stay with us after the break.
I don't remember how it started.
North of that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Meals on Wheels gives me a chance to be totally selfless. More than the food itself, a lot of seniors don't have family. So just to have someone to talk to, just to say, hey, how was your day? That means so much more than a meal could ever mean. We have to look outside of ourselves to be that lifeline to other people. It's worth it.
Welcome back. We have a new weekly segment starting this week, and we call it Everyday Heroes. We'll be featuring a local person who's making a difference in our community.
That's right, and NAZ Today's Tori Smith joins us now in the studio with the very first ever Everyday Hero.
Thanks, Liam. This week we are highlighting a Flagstaff Fire Department paramedic, Captain Paul Sanders. Shares what an average day looks like for him and the hardships that come with being a firefighter. Captain Sanders has been with the Flagstaff Fire Department for 9 years and is currently working at Station 6 near Lake Mary. Born and raised in Flagstaff, his dream was to become a firefighter, and he made his dream come true. Sanders says he's never looked back.
We were cruising around in Ponderosa Trails from this station one day, and we stopped by a kid's birthday party who was obsessed with firefighters. He had no clue we were coming there, and we stopped and surprised him. And just the look on his face when we got there, he was in complete shock and awe.
But with all the sweet comes the sour. It sounds glamorous to make someone's day and ride around in a fire truck, but the reality is, with most calls, firefighters end up in tough situations.
So I really enjoy helping people that are having a real bad day. But, you know, with the hard part of that is you see a lot of bad stuff. But, you know, that's part of the job that we all knew and we signed up for. And we have some stuff that we do for mental health awareness and taking care of ourselves, and that's been a big change for us.
You may not know, but firefighters work 48-hour shifts straight through, and they are on call the whole time. But they don't just wait for a call. There's so much more that goes into being a firefighter.
And when we come here, we work 48-hour shifts. So from the time we get here and put our stuff on the truck till the time we get off, you know, at the drop of a hat, we're there to respond to any calls. So for 48 hours, you know, there's chores we have to do, there's truck checks we have to do, there's public trainings and public outreach stuff we have to do. But as a whole, we're just here as public servants.
And that's why Captain Paul Sanders is this week's Everyday Hero. Tori Smith, NAZ Today.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
I just found out my work party is a +1. You want to go? This is my boss, Ella.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
You're welcome. Nope, I'm high. But I'll clean the kitchen while you're gone.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
Pool party at Jesse's. Can you drive? I'm toasted.
Nope, I'm high. But I can order us a ride.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Good evening and welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm the weather director here, Tori Smith, and we're going to take a look at the La Nina winter temperatures we are going to be expecting. If you look in the southern states, we are going to be expecting more drier conditions, and then as we move up into the north, we are going to be seeing even cooler conditions way up in the north, even in Canada. Looking at the current satellite right now, we are seeing some nice cloud coverage up in the north part of Arizona, but right in Flagstaff, we are not seeing any due to that high pressure system currently. And taking a look at that high pressure system, we are currently seeing a barometric pressure system of 30.08 inches right now. So that is what's caused for all of our clear skies right now. 45 is the temperature currently, and we're seeing some light southwest winds, not as much as yesterday with all of those thunderstorms. But looking at the high for today, it still was pretty chilly at 61 degrees. Low tonight going to be 27 degrees. And we are perfectly right on average with those temperatures, so 60 in the high category and 29 the low. It is on average when it is about 2 to 5 degrees in that range, but anything above like 5 to 10, that is when it starts to become above or below average. Precipitation, we actually did have a little bit today. I forgot to put it in, but we had about 0.15 inches this morning. Yesterday we had a bit more, but it kind of died off as the night progressed. Looking at across the state highs for today, pretty chilly overall. We saw 60 degrees in Kingman, 70 degrees is a high in Las Vegas, 76 is a high in Phoenix, which is pretty chilly for them, and 80 degrees as the high in Page. Looking for tonight, we are going to be seeing a temperature low of 27 degrees, pretty chilly out and a beautiful waning gibbous moon. So as we approach this Halloween weekend, we are going to be seeing less and less moon. But looking tonight, we're going to be seeing mostly clear skies, so you definitely will be able to check out that moon tonight, and the sunset has already happened at 5:37 p.m. Looking at the forecast high for tomorrow, it's going to be even cooler than it was today at 58 degrees and perfectly sunny. And sunrise at 6:43 a.m. So if you're like Lacey Frawn and like to run, that is a perfect time to go out and do that. Looking at the forecast temperatures across the state for tomorrow, we're going to see 80 degrees as the high in Lake Havasu, 65 is the high in Prescott, 71 is the high in Kingman, a little bit warmer down in Phoenix at 78 degrees. But let's take a look here at Flagstaff. So we are going to be seeing 58 is the high on Thursday, jumping up to 64 on Saturday, and then back down as we approach Sunday and Monday. So 58, 59 degrees and 59 degrees on Monday. That is all we have for weather, but be sure to stick around after the break for your sports report with Hannah Ware.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals 25. Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Make a plan today.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody.
So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. My name is Hannah Ware, and I'll be your sports reporter for the night. Starting off, as NAU volleyball has hit the halfway point of their season, sports reporter Ava Nichols spoke with head coach Ken Murphy and senior star Ryan Davis to see how they will finish their season strong.
As NAU volleyball begins the second half of conference play Thursday, Coach Ken Murphy says the effects of COVID-19 are still an issue.
For the weekend coming up, I think both these teams were playing. They both had some players out with COVID the first time and COVID protocols. And so we kind of feel like we're playing new teams actually. And so I think it's important when we play them that we don't treat it like, we've already played them.
The team is led by Ryan Davis, who has had a remarkable senior season. Coach Murphy says Davis has earned the respect of her team.
Played a lot of volleyball in her life. And so I think there really aren't any situations that we can be in that she hasn't been in. So she can give advice during those situations. But the main thing is I think she's just a good player. And I think they can follow the fact that she's always plays at a really similar level with a lot of confidence.
Davis says she wants to finish the season on a high note.
We just need to focus on ourselves, focus on what we do every day in practice, and have fun. I think sometimes that aspect gets lost a lot.
Ryan said she learned a lot about leadership from past teammates, and she's glad to pass it along.
It's definitely been one of my favorite seasons so far. Just contributing so much to the team. I'm just trying to be that older figure for them since we are so young.
Ava Nichols, NAZ Today.
In their upcoming game this Thursday, this will be Davis's 100th career match as a Lumberjack. She also leads in the Big Sky in overall hitting percentages and conference matches. You can watch Davis lead the team as they travel to Cheney, Washington to play the Eagles on ESPN Plus, 6 p.m. Moving on to football, the Lumberjacks suffered a 44-0 loss against Sacramento State. With rushing and passing yards in total, Sacramento had 656 yards, while NAU only had 226. Their next game is against the Idaho Vandals, who stand 1-3 in the Big Sky Conference. Lumberjacks look hopeful to secure a win as they stand 2-2 in the Big Sky, and they beat the Vandals last season 19-9. And finally, NAU soccer secured their last 6 wins, where they will head into the Big Sky tournament. They may have started off the season terribly with an 0-7 record, but it seems that as the season has continued, they found their ground and hope to make it to the championship. As they take a week to prepare for what's to come, you can watch these girls on ESPN Plus November 3rd. If they win, they will continue to semifinals on that Friday. Well, that's all we have for sports tonight, but stay tuned after the break for your weather recap with Tori Smith.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back. We are going to take one last look at weather before it's back to desk. We're going to see 58 and 31 is a low on Wednesday, 60 and 33 is a low on Thursday, jumping up to 66 and then down to 64 and then back again at 59 on Sunday. These temperatures were updated since our last appearance on screen, but as you can see, it should be relatively the same. That is all we have for weather, but back to y'all on desk.
Thank you, Tori. While it may be the fall season, it certainly won't feel like it without a pumpkin. And Tuesday is the day to celebrate the versatile gourd. Whether you enjoy pumpkin decor, pumpkin patches, or pumpkin spice lattes, National Pumpkin Day is the day to fulfill all your pumpkin obsessions.
That's right, Christian. And you know, there are many ways to celebrate this festival, and you can carve a jack-o'-lantern, roast pumpkin seeds, visit a pumpkin patch, decorate with pumpkins, or even pop a pumpkin pie in the oven. Well, that's a tongue twister. You can share your photos of your creations on social media under the hashtag National Pumpkin Day.
And of course, if you're still in need of a pumpkin, there are many pumpkin patches throughout northern Arizona to attend to. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to see more of our content, you can visit our YouTube channel at NAZ Today, or you could stay tuned for our tomorrow's show on Wednesday night. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.